where we can join Natalie, who is alongside Sam Allardyce and David James, and I'm pretty sure one of them might have said 3-1, did they?
Thank you very much to Alistair Mann. No, David said 2-1, Alistair, and Sam thought 2-0. That is Erling Haaland there with a bump. Yes, that is a hat-trick bump for him, another hat-trick for Erling Haaland, and he continues to break records for fun. Another hat-trick, 70 Premier League goals in 69 games for Erling Haaland, and he very nearly made it 4 goals at the end of the game as well. So we're just seeing live pictures here from the London Stadium after City have beaten West Ham 3-1. We're going to go over back pitch side very shortly to FG and to get their feelings there. But before we do, Sam, how impressed were you with City throughout that game?
Very impressed, and I think that when they had to stand up to the defending, they did it very, very well, because there was a couple of times where West Ham put them under pressure. West Ham particularly dangerous on counter-attack, but couldn't quite create enough of them. A little bit good fortune when they hit the post. Good fortune for City when West Ham hit the post, but in the end a well-deserved victory, and that man's finishing is just exquisite. I mean, all with his left foot, but all 3 different types of finishing, and obviously the last one, the little dink, was just superb, like the other 2 were. So yeah, a comfortable victory, another hat-trick, and 7 goals in 3 matches.
Yes.
Or was it 4?
7 in 3. So Erling Haaland has scored more goals individually than any team in the Premier League, apart from City, obviously, have scored as a collective in the first 3 games.
There's lots of players still having a rest from the Euros, isn't there? You know?
Yeah, Rodri's not in the team yet.
So, you know, there's more to come with the squad when they're all ready and raring to go. But this man has definitely benefited from the summer off.
Yeah.
I think we can all see that.
No Rodri and no Phil Foden. Obviously, PFA Player of the Year, Phil Foden, in the team as of yet, David. But the sight there of Erling Haaland with another ball under his arm must be sending shivers down every defence in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that impressed me and added to the game against Ipswich, because having done a study on Erling, as many people I'm sure have done, his hat-tricks tend to come within half an hour from the first to third goal. Last week I think it was 80-odd minutes between goals. This week it's 70-odd minutes. Effectively, what you're saying is that Erling Haaland's in the whole game now. The fact that Pep's left him on for so long, I know that 2-1 the game wasn't finished. Against Ipswich it was finished, but he kept on. Another hat-trick, but they weathered the storm beginning of that second half. The goal that Erling scored for the hat-trick, like Sam said, was a completely different finish to the others, but the play from Nunes to get them in that position, you know, it was a great substitution in the fact that Jack had to come off, it seemed, with some kind of injury, but to come on, contribute with an assist. You know, you're doing what the manager wants you to do, you're doing what Erling wants to do, and like I said at half-time, I just think everyone wants Erling to keep scoring. It
was a great assist by Nunes. Right, we're going to go back over now live to pitch side at the London Stadium to hear the thoughts of FG and Paul Dickoff.
3 to go into the international. 3 in the Premier League for Manchester City. Another Erling Haaland hat-trick as our players come over to thank the amazing away support, Paul.
Yeah, the away fans have been brilliant, but Erling Haaland, we said before the game, it's ridiculous, 10 hat-tricks in 101 games, now it's 11 in 102, so the guy's an absolute freak. I know he doesn't mind me saying that, but fantastic win. You know, tough place to come. West Ham got some good players, but 3 goals, 3 wins out of 3, as you say, international break.
I mean, now all the talk today will probably be about Erling Haaland, but every single one of these players contributed. They've contributed from the start of the season. You look at the likes of Mateo Kovacic and Rico Lewis, who are thanking the away fans, and Ederson at the end as well with a great save as well.
Ederson, great save. I thought Kovacic, especially first half, was outstanding. Rico again, you know, the kids just seems to get better and better, and then talking about Erling, I thought Jack done really well for his first game back as well, but as you said, a complete team performance today, for the ones who started and the ones who came off the bench. Absolutely amazing.
And how nice was it, a special mention for Nunes as well, how nice was it for him to come off the bench and get an assist?
Yeah, it was a great ball through as well, you know, he's got great ability, we've seen it in fits and starts. A lot of rumours about him leaving the club. He's here and he's going to stay, so we want to see him get more minutes in the pitch, and it shows you the quality that he's got.
Now, if you pan it round as well to take a look at the players, the whole squad, the manager, everybody, all here thanking our supporters. It feels like really, really good vibes here, doesn't it, at the start of the season?
It does, and you know, I've noticed a difference already, even in pre-season. FG, you know, you were out there. Notoriously, people say we start slow to the season as well, but there seems a real determination about the lads. There's a real togetherness that we know, and they want to create history again. You know, done it last season with 4 in a row, and performances like today, the squad that we've got. It's early doors, but there's no reason why they can't go on and do that again.
It's early doors, but I'm sure every single City fan will be feeling absolutely great. This away support has been absolutely incredible as they give their love to our manager, Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, well, he's the best, isn't he? But the away fans, I've said it all along. You know, it's no coincidence. They travel in their numbers. They're the best. I've said it since I played 25, 26 years ago, and I'll say it again to now. Start to finish, you know, travelling all over the country. They don't stop.
Listen, every single Manchester City supporter watching around the world, thank you for tuning in to us at Matchday Live. You deserve this. 3 wins out of 3 to go into the international break. We already can't wait for it to be back, can we?
No, I'll bring it back soon.
Let's head to a very, very happy studio. Thank you, Paul.
We certainly are a very happy studio. Thank you so much to FG and to Paul Digoff, and of course to Michael Brown and to Ali Mann as well. What a day. City beat West Ham 3-1. So that is 9 points from the first 3 games. Only Liverpool also have an unbeaten record at the start of the Premier League season, but they've only played 2 so far. They have United tomorrow at Old Trafford. So a perfect start to the season for Manchester City and a perfect start to the season for one Erling Haaland. What a brilliant, brilliant game today. Particularly dominant in the first half with City, but moments in the second half, they held on, they kept their nerve, they kept their cool, and then Erling Haaland popped up just to calm us all down a little bit. So let's have a chat about that third goal from Erling Haaland, because we mentioned it briefly there, but I really think we need to give Matheus Nunes his props for his involvement in this one, David, because obviously he'd come on as a substitute, and I loved his kind of no-look dink to the side, and then Erling timed his run perfectly.
Yeah, and if I remember rightly, he was under pressure in the Man City defence to start with, wasn't it? It was a classic counter-attack. But having watched some of the footage of West Ham this season already, there was an exposure behind that defensive line, and given that they were pressing, it was perfect for Erling. But it's as you said, Nunes' ball was perfect, and when Erling's in that position, the time of the run, I mean, you look at it, you're thinking he's leaning forward. There could be a possibility of an offside, but perfect, absolutely perfect. And then the dink for Fabianski, I mean, I feel for him a little bit because having seen Erling, especially at West Ham London Stadium, slide the ball down the side of the keeper every time, the last thing he's thinking he's going to dink it. I think he bounced before he went over the line as well. It was that good a dink. But he is just incredible. It must be the hairband.
You're right, the yellow hairband. It's that. Yes, I don't know what colour he was wearing against Ipswich.
You need to ask him when you see him next.
We'll ask him, Sam.
Yeah,
yes. That is the info that we want to know. That's what we get on Matchday Live. It was also really important timing as well, because Kudus had hit the bar or the post. We were under pressure at the time. I was starting to feel nervous, and the timing of that, the way that City had stayed patient, Sam, was incredible.
Yes, I mean, I think that they can win whichever way they want now. You know, I think they don't always have to win with that ultra possession football. They can win by defending well now and making sure that they break out through the lines quickly, or the goalkeeper can pass a 70-yard ball straight behind the defence, or they can get it out in the wide areas, do the cut back. But obviously, the biggest thing that's going to be happening to Man City this year is if he gets injured.
Don't say it, Sam. Why would you say it? Don't say it.
I know that, but like, you know, Man City have always been really good at sharing the goals out. So they have to keep sharing the goals out just in case he might not be there for a week or two. And I think it's a bit of a pity it's international break. I think Pep will be thinking, you know, it's come at the wrong time, just 3 games in, and we're getting in the groove, and then probably 85-90% of his players will be going away on international duty, and he'll be thinking, who comes back fatigued, who comes back injured, you know what I mean? Definitely. So I think it's a bit of a shame that's happening when Man City have actually hit the ground running and look very, very comfortable in the way that they're playing, And, of course, lots of players not being considered at the moment after the Euros. So there's still more to come from Man City when all those players are given the rest they need and then come back into the squad.
I know, because if you list some of the names that haven't started yet, because they were on internationals, Rodri, Foden, obviously he did, but he's been poorly. Walker, Stones,
yeah.
We've not seen any of them. The good news as well for City is that, good news for City, not good news for Spain or Rodri, he's banned for the next 2 games, so he's not going on international duty, which makes me very happy, David, because he's going to rest up. And can you imagine Rodri coming back to the Premier League after an international break where he's rested?
Well, it's interesting, that second half I felt City, I mean, it's not negative in a sense because they didn't concede a goal, but with regards to the opportunities that West Ham created, I think it's because they lost that control of the midfield. That's the bit that Rodri, game on game, 90 minutes, more often than not, will control. And what was a comfortable half-time at 2-1 could have turned into a comfortable 4-1. Oh, you know, we can make up any number you want, but I think they lost that bit of control. So him coming back rested would just mean that if they are leading 2-1 in any games at half-time, you'd imagine they'll go on and comfortably win it, rather than... Yeah, and the thing that I'm just looking at Haaland there, he had the audacity to nearly score a 4th as well.
Can we talk about that for a minute? Because Ilkay Gundogan came on, which I was so happy to see, because you're talking about their City losing a bit of control of it. When I saw that Ilkay Gundogan was coming on, I did sort of rest a bit, because knowing the sort of security that he brings, and then him and Haaland linked up so beautifully. You were cooing, Sam, at that.
Well, the thing is, he's still worth 50 million, irrespective of his age, in my opinion, because you spend 50 million on him and they've got him for nothing, you know, and you can get, it looks like you could still get 2 or 3 years out of him, and what he would give to the team and the extra zip in the midfield and goals and assists would be worth anybody's 50 million, in my opinion. Particularly the prices that are going around today, like, I mean, so yeah, it's just a great... He probably wouldn't have come back to anybody else, though, irrespective. Man City would have been the only place he'd come back to, but, you know, I mean, unless they had a clause in the contract that they had to come back to them if you come back to Premier League, which might have been the case, why another club didn't jump in like a Man United or a Chelsea or a Arsenal would be beyond me, you know. But, you know, I'm just in awe of the whole team again, you know. And I tipped Arsenal this year before the season started to just, because I was thinking 5 on the trot. How hard is that? Like, I mean, but, you know, and there's a long way to go, as everybody says. But, you know, with the fact that there's so many players out the side that normally play because they're rested because of Euros, and the fact that this squad is comfortable 3-3, he's scoring, you know, 7 goals already. Just everything looks that it's going to be a very difficult year for everybody else to try and to get anywhere near.
Yeah, City look calm and composed and hungry and really, really wanting it. I mean, I know, as Sam says, it's early to say after 3 games, David, but has that performance, or the first 3 performances of the season, because you've watched them all, how have they made you feel? How do you see the rest of the season progressing given those first 3 performances?
I like simple maths. And in order to contest winning the league, 90 points should be enough, which essentially is 30 wins.
Okay.
So 3 out of 3 gives you 27 more to chase for. You can lose 8 games to anyone and still end up obviously with 90 points. Arsenal in their 3rd game have drawn. So in a sense, they're already chasing. And like Sam said, I think many people would have or will put Arsenal as the team to challenge City. The bit you meant about hungry, I think we touched upon that at half-time. But what I did like, and the guys were saying it pitch side, and I saw this at Wembley in particular, was where everyone gets together to celebrate the win.
Correct.
Yeah.
You've got substitutes there who haven't even got on, going over to the fans and acknowledging the travelling support. There seems to be a different feel with this Manchester City side this season. Being at Chelsea, it felt different. I can't put my finger on what it is, but if Erling Haaland, 7 goals in 3 games, if last season was a bad off-season for him, where he finished with a golden boot, then I think a replica of the first season is more likely. And obviously with 7 goals in 3 games, definitely more likely this season. So just keep him fit and happy, rested when he needs to. It's quite scary.
There's a feeling as a fan of that connection that we had in the treble season, certainly towards the back end of the treble season, where everybody in the entire club was so tightly connected and supporting of each other. And to have that after 3 games in is phenomenal. And bad news for the rest of the Premier League, because Pep Guardiola has just said in his post-match interview following the game that pre-season is now over. 3 Premier League games in, and Pep has just said pre-season is over, Sam. I mean, that sends some daunting message to the rest of the Premier League.
Well, I've seen. I don't news let him out, but I've seen some of his team talks in the dressing room, and that's way old school. You know what I mean? Getting stuck in, getting right into them. You know what I mean? So in today's world, that sometimes quite surprised me a little bit. You know what I mean? But I reckon he's got stuck right into them. You know, if you're going to win 3 on the trot, then you're going to win 4 on the trot. You know, he must have got stuck into them before they even kicked the ball in the Premier League, and said, "Don't you dare! Don't even think about complacency or taking it easy. Do not think you can, you know, put your foot off the gas at any stage whatsoever from day one." And he probably set the tone, and you know that deliverance, or how he delivers, would be setting the tone for him to be ready to start like they've started, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but I just got that feeling that's what he would start by, you know, by getting them mentally, and just say, you know, this is going to happen. You're going to start this season better than last. Do more, not less, or not the same. And I think that, and if he drives that on, you know, it's nothing but success for the club.
The mental strength that they all have as individuals and as a team, that, like Sam says, David, the idea of there is no complacency, there is none. That's how you win 4, and then that's how, if we do it, we'd go on to win 5, isn't it?
Well, I'm thinking back to when we did the pre-season game. I think it was Milan.
Yep.
Where they lost, and you
lost loads in pre-season.
Well, the pre-season,
yeah.
the actual
pre-season,
the real pre-season, yeah. And there was an image of Erling Haaland. You asked me what they make of that performance, and Erling was smiling because he'd scored, and I said he's happy, so it's fine. I think the reason I mention it, I think there's a deliberate plan, obviously, but this is right down to the nth detail. It seems pre-season doesn't matter results. Get what you need out of it, which they did. Erling scored goals. He's come back 7 in 3. The idea of what Pep's just said might reflect on what we were talking about just now. Rodri hasn't been involved. Phil Foden, bar a cameo, hasn't been involved. John Stones hasn't been involved. And it's almost like I'm waiting for the international break. Then after the international break, Brentford are home.
Yep.
I will have a full squad, fully fit, and I can pick who I want, effectively. So if the pre-season is done, you're not resting now, you are ready to play. So, as you said, I think the Premier League will be slightly concerned with what they're going to be facing, bless you, in the coming weeks.
And it's a good thing as well, because September is a month for City. I mean, it already looks like wow. So there's the international break, then we come back to Brentford at home, and then we play Watford in the Cup, in the League Cup, and then we play Arsenal at home. We also play our first Champions League game as well during that time against Inter Milan. That's also at home, and then we have an away game against Newcastle. There is some serious tough games in September, so we're going to need everybody back, Sam. There is no pre-season when you look at those fixtures.
Yeah,
we're going to need everyone back.
I think Pep's the only one that goes for them all. I never thought that's a good idea. I always thought there's a priority in my opinion. Sometimes when you go for it all, you win nothing. You know, so you know, you look at what your best bet is, and what's most needed for Manchester City now, and that's the league and the Champions League. And if he can play a lot of the, well, I don't know whether anybody's a weakness anymore, but rotating the team to playing all of the competitions, keeps them going for a long stretch now, getting into most finals these days. But they didn't last year, did they?
Not with the League Cup.
No.
Yeah.
So they won the league. Did they win the Carabao Cup?
No, we got to the FA Cup final. Yep, and knocked out fairly early in the league.
So, so that's the league that they've won, like you mean. So, I just think that he'll probably go for all 4 again. And I wonder what his priority is. I wonder if it's Champions League before the league this year.
Well, the way they were celebrating the Community Shield win, I think it's considerable for 5.
Oh, David.
Yeah,
but sorry, it goes back to that conversation we were having before.
It is if you win 5.
Yeah, well, if you like. I mean, it's but it's not the competition as you see it as a competition, is it? Like you mean?
That's my point. If you saw the way they celebrated after they won it, then it was a serious bit of silverware. And if you've got that mentality, then people have to be fearful of you because you're taking everything serious. What can you do better than the treble, or quadruple, or including the just win everything?
Just win everything. Just win everything. So the next game after the international break will be Brentford at home, Saturday, the 14th of September. And I know you've been keeping a little eye on Brentford because you've got some of the players in your FPL team. You were particularly happy today with...
Mbeumo.
Mbeumo got you... Was he 2 goals today?
2 goals.
2 goals today. So it's at home for City. In terms of what you know about Brentford, what you've seen from Brentford this season, obviously we know that Ivan Toney went in the transfer window. They won 3-1 today as well. So what sort of game? What are you expecting from Brentford for when City take them on at home?
For them to get beat. Yeah. As I say, I think the Premier League has to be concerned because for Pep to make that statement, pre-season's over, the fact that the players who haven't been involved will be available. Any injury niggles. I mean, Jack Grealish, obviously, today, who had a stellar performance when he was on the field. If it's only a little knock, and I hope it is, he's in a position that he's going to be fully fit for that Brentford game, then I'm not even going to hazard what the team lineup will be because Pep will literally have all these players available. Brentford can be good. I like Mbeumo because I just think he was the missing link for Brentford last season, not Ivan Toney.
He may have a few injuries from international duty, though.
Yeah.
For instance, one today, I'd be disappointed if Jack misses his call up for England again after he's just been called up because obviously it looked like an injury to me.
Yeah.
I hope it's not serious, like I mean. But Brentford if Brentford play the best game and play the system they normally play, they've already caused Man City huge problems here. But whether that'll be the case this time round, I wouldn't underestimate them.
How much is Ivan Toney going to be a loss? Because I know you're a big fan of his.
It's a big loss for them. It's a big loss for the Premier League. See, there again, you get this ultra like, is he too big? I don't want to risk buying somebody that size playing up front today. And, I mean, if you've got a centre forward 6'4", 6'5", who scores goals, who holds the ball up, who's great in the air, and you don't want to spend 40 million on him for the fact that people might say, you're going to play long ball off him. I mean, it happened to Peter Crouch when he went to Liverpool, and then so they got rid of him for that. And he was absolutely magnificent for Liverpool. You look at his goal record, look at his overall play, and it was, but just that, because he was that 6'3", 6'4" centre forward. There was a thing about he can't play. He's not great that skill. I had it with Andy Carroll. His ability was so outstanding that people all had this perception about it's only about his heading. He was much more than that, like you mean. So I think that's why nobody's actually gone and taken the chance on him. I mean, West Ham could have done with him.
I cannot believe Man United didn't do everything in their power to get him. Or Chelsea, they didn't.
Yeah, well,
for all the players they bought.
It wouldn't be his cup of tea, would he? But he can hold the ball up. It's not just about his aerial ability, but he can hold the ball up and he can score goals, which is the most important thing. I mean, you give him service at a better team, he's going to score more than he's ever scored for Brentford, because he's proven in the Premier League.
that nobody went for Ivan Toney. Or maybe they did, but he's gone to Saudi Arabia in the transfer window, and the transfer window is now shut, thankfully. So we have 2 weeks off from the Premier League now as it is international break, but Manchester City football continues as it always does, because our women's team play very early in the morning tomorrow. So it is their final pre-season game over in Australia, and they are taking on PSG. It is a nice and early start for you. I think it is a 10:15 or 10 a.m.-ish kick-off tomorrow. Matchday Live will be here with you. So myself and Izzy Christiansen will be here on the chairs or on the sofa maybe. We'll see you in the morning from an hour before kick-off. So join us around about 9:15 in the morning, as we will be taking a look ahead to the women's season, to the friendly against PSG and to the season ahead for our women's team. I am so excited to see Miedema in a City shirt as well. Cannot wait. So do join myself and Izzy Christiansen bright and early tomorrow for City Women versus PSG. And that is, of course, their last friendly over in Australia. Gents, thank you so much. Sam, have you enjoyed your first show?
Yes. Don't forget to invite me back.
Oh, yay!
Okay.
Sam wants an invite back. We will invite you back. We'll invite you to a home game as well. Then you can come and watch the game and see us from watch it from the studio inside as well. And David, we'll see you again, I'm hoping.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Did you get Oasis tickets?
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
I'm sorry, David.
I'll just watch it on video.
OK. If anybody has a spare Oasis ticket or can get a message to Oasis, then please let them know. Otherwise, I'll FaceTime you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to the both of you. Now, we have a new documentary coming out very, very soon on City Plus, one of the many incredible documentaries and features that you get on City Plus. He might be poorly at the minute, but last season's PFA Player of the Year and Player of the Year for City, the absolutely insanely talented Phil Foden. So here's a little sneak peek, a little preview for you of his new upcoming documentary. We'll see you tomorrow.
I mean, he was obsessed.
He was obsessed.
I was just obsessed with football.
He's turned into such an outstanding football player.
He's already one of the best players in the Premier League. I think the future is all his.
He'll be up there with the best players in the world.
He could be a Ballon d'Or winner.
He sort of sat back and was like, wow, you're going to be a really special player.
He was doing all these magical things at such a young age.
Phil was the smallest one, but if he was on your team, you knew you were going to win.
He can be running for 90 minutes. He doesn't stop.
Phil in that game was he was the most Brazilian player on the pitch.
Genuine love for playing football.
Whatever he wants to achieve, he can get it.
He's just a lad from Stockport.
Statue next to yours as well.
You probably have a whole stadium for him.